have long hair, it feels like you have a pet in your head. So, like, if you want to stroke a dog, you can just stroke your long hair.
Yeah, well, you can also brush your long hair from time to time.
There's one dread in the back.
How many days had it been since you brushed your hair?
I've been brushing it really a lot, coherently, regularly a lot.
But then there was a period of time where you didn't brush your hair, which I believe is where the dread.
Well, when I work, I don't think you don't need to brush your hair every day. Mm-hmm. Do I sound like a retard right now?
Well, here, because of what you said or because of how you're mumbling it?
I was listening to my own sentences coming out of my mouth and it sounded like
someone...
No,
but this is how you actually justify not brushing your hair to me.
What?
You've said to me...
Fake. I have I'm mentally challenged.
You told me I don't have to bathe every day. I don't have to brush my hair ever. I think you tried to sell that. I think
you get older, you don't need to wash as much.
What? How in the world do you figure?
I don't think you smell as bad or something.
Old people have a distinct odor.
No, that's when they're starting to go bad.
So what age?
That's when they're past. When you get past 60, and you've been out all day, you start to go off a bit. That's why you have to go to bed early because they start to actually kind of rot a bit. I think.
So at what age is the decrease in bathing?
Oh no, in your 30s and 40s you can fucking bathe a bit less than you do in your 20s. And in your teens you should be bathing every day.
Why? To wash away the chlamydia?
Oily skin.
But you know that sometimes bathing more can make your skin generate more oil.
I don't believe in that.
Okay. Oh, I don't believe in anything you just said. I think bathing is important.
Happy New Year 2021. I'm so
man.
glad we got the podcast back. It's important for people to hear what we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't even want to do this. But who wants to do anything anymore?
It's a new world. Everything's great. We've got a new president in the United States. You've got a new king. Joseph Biden. Things are looking up. There's actually people going to discotheques in Wuhan, China.
Interesting.
Yeah, imagine that.
Why do you know that?
Sometimes I look up conspiracy theories, and as I said that, I did the thing with my fingers.
I saw that.
About China. I told you I think they're going to take over the world, didn't they?
No, I think that's something that you've kept in your hair that you're not brushing.
Oh. You've had probably one of the better Januaries that you've ever had, I think.
Why is that? I like that I derailed your whole China thing with that real quick.
You talk to a Chinaman every once in a while on the phone.
I cannot believe you just said that.
Sometimes you break into full Mandarin.
No.
And it sounds like you're talking about blueprints or nukes or...
Okay.
Are you working with them?
I swear to God, any excuse to use a slur.
That's not a slur.
It most certainly is.
Is it?
I'm not even going to repeat it. Yes.
I don't know about that. That sounds like a descriptor.
Okay. Well, you can Google it later.
I'm trying to put a joke on the internet, you see.
Yeah,
it's like something like this. I'm trying to work it out with you. And then I'll put it up and it won't matter because it'll be on Facebook anyway. So I do most of my best work, to be honest.
Facebook.
Yeah, it's like... The angle of the joke is I want to be... Like, those guys who are complete nightmares. Like, as in,
yes.
They have to teetotal. They have to go completely dry. They have to get hobbies and they have to get God when they stop drinking because they party too much. They can't, they just don't have control.
Right.
And the joke is, I want to be one of those guys where when you see even a cup of wine on the recipe, because you're baking to keep your head out, that you black out and wake up 2 days later next to a railway road, next to train tracks, wearing a woman's dress. Do you like that one?
I think.
I mumbled the delivery, but it's gonna be actually in text form.
Great on Facebook.
Yeah, it's gonna be great on Facebook. Facebook has my kind of people. I realise that they're older. They're a bit more loose with the slurs.
What Facebook are you on? Facebook has all the people. Well, I guess, I don't know. I guess TikTok took the younger kids.
I don't know.
I don't want to talk about the fucking internet.
I don't understand the kids with the TikTok. Richie's on TikTok now. He sends me links.
You don't understand the kids on the TikTok. I tried the TikTok. Huh?
Oh, no, I wouldn't try it.
No. I did because a comedian I knew back in New York named Ryan Long, who, if anybody's watching any videos on the internet, they're probably watching his videos. They're good quality. He's a great comic. He knows his voice and his lane, and he makes excellent content, sticking in that.
His videos are good, yeah.
Yeah, and so he had just moved to New York just before I left, and we were hanging out somewhere, and he was like, "Look, you got to join TikTok." And I was like, "What's TikTok?" And he opened it up and he showed me, like, he was refreshing it, and just like hundreds of likes every second, right, on his TikTok. So I was like, okay, I'll join TikTok. He's like, yeah, you just use the hashtag, he's like, my videos are getting all these views. So I started putting my videos on TikTok, and back in Wimbledon, right, I rarely opened it because once I got little to no traction, nothing like his experience on it, I was like, I can't handle another social media thing. But I opened it up in Wimbledon, and I saw that some like sweaty palmed pimply little shit had done something called a duet, which I guess is where they take one of your videos and they have like a reaction shot.
Yeah, it's a reaction video, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Okay. But I guess he was doing these.
It's like watching black guys hear
Kate Bush.
Kate Bush for the first time.
See, it's funny because I didn't even watch that video, but I knew what you were going to say. Yeah. So he had taken one of my videos, which was, it was a crowd work clip, right? So it's not even like a fucking joke. It's a crowd work clip that's like 10 seconds. Like I was like, anybody fuck a loser in here? And some guy goes, hey. And I was like, no, you are a loser. Mm-hmm. That was the clip. And so he took that clip, and his reaction was not laughing, and I was included in some like series he's doing where, he's like proving women aren't funny because he doesn't laugh at them. And he took my video to do that, of like this crowd work clip. And so I can't sit here and explain to some 7-year-old, like, this is not stand-up comedy, whatever. But, then these kids were like commenting. So then I, did what any idiot adult does, and like also commented, like I was like, oh, you must have been the guy from the video, like, whatever. And then somebody was like, ooh, she's like, hurt. And then I don't know, there was some back and forth. I really have blocked it all out because I was going through the most difficult time of my entire life during this period. So then my final move on TikTok was to comment with all these kids commenting that I was going to kill myself, and then I deleted TikTok. So I don't know what's become of that, but I figured if I never responded again or posted again, one of these kids might grow up to wonder if, in fact, they had made a lady kill herself and maybe experience their own set of trauma from being a bully on the internet. So, TikTok.
Yeah, that's a good way to deal with the situation. I've always said it to people that you should, if you are too lazy to... Not too lazy, that's the wrong word. If you're overcome with too much to deal with a certain situation, hint that you're going to kill yourself. Mm-hmm. Even if you're not going to do it. It's the best way to make people feel bad.
Yeah, well, that's what I figured they would never know.
You see, the problem was if that guy, it was very rudely done because, he gets to pick the clip and then not laugh at it. So
I know.
He could have laughed at the other clip.
Well, he could have picked a better clip. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, fair enough. You're not going to laugh at what is, like, arguably a relatively mediocre crowd work
clip. He picked a short one because it's pretty easier.
Yeah, the little cocksucker didn't even pick a real fucking joke. And I have the my raped myself joke on there. So I'm like, why didn't you pick the only thing that anybody liked on TikTok? Like, that got, like, I don't know, barely any views, like 3,000 views, something like that, right? Got, like, nothing. But, like, still, it was the most popular one. So I'm like, why didn't you pick the joke, the good joke? But that it's probably because, maybe he's raped somebody and he just couldn't handle it. I don't know.
No, I mean, if we had, the time, money, and more the internet expertise, we could, like, find out who he is.
We have the
where
time.
Where he's from. And I think for, like, maybe... I mean, because it's America. He's American, isn't he?
I'm certain he is.
He's North American. He's Canadian or American. Most likely American.
Most likely American.
Because Canadians are that mean, really.
Because Americans are little assholes.
Yeah, but what we could do, if we did find out, like, generally where he... Because he's probably kind of has some sort of internet presence, and he is a creative, whether we like to admit it or not. He is a creative. He's a bully.
Jerks off with both hands.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if we'd found out that kind of information, no matter where he lives, there's always someone in that area desperate to do something. And if we just paid a crackhead, $200 each, we could have that
each.
Yeah, I'm saying 400. I mean, cause we could have that child molested by a man of I assume he's racist as well. He looked racist, didn't he? So
yeah,
a black crackhead.
He was white.
We could have him. We could have him gang raped. If we had the money, that's what I'm saying. We have to start using the dark web.
That's what we would do with if we had disposable income. That would be one of the things we would do.
Yeah. Well, I'm just spitballing. If you just if he made you feel upset about your stand up, he didn't laugh at your video. I mean, imagine how funny it would be if we did a reaction video of him getting
and I hang myself
getting raped. No, we fake her hanging as well. The whole thing is a nightmare. Really, is what we're.
Yeah, the internet is bad, and yet most of my time is spent on it. What am I even doing online anymore? I don't know. I'm getting whiter. I'm making my own cereal. How does that even happen? I don't know. So,
why don't you tell the people what kind of cereal you're making? It's very healthy.
Really?
Yeah. Just that people know that we're not even really consuming that many carbs.
Well, they are carbs.
Oh yeah.
Oats are carbs.
What the fuck are we doing as well?
Well, I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know. I was using a lot of honey up until the other day, and then I realized it's basically sugar. So I don't know what's happening anymore.
No, yeah.
Until I can have something to do during the day that will remind me that there's a reason to be alive. I don't know. I'm just eating a lot of carbs, I guess.
No, we're actually. Oh, excuse me.
Wow.
We should edit that out because it's so rude.
Oh yeah, I did say. You can't edit the smell.
I did say excuse me, and so
proud of you.
But we're actually taking care of what we're putting into our bodies, honestly, because I think we're eating less sugar.
Are we?
Excuse me. I'm trying to drink less beer. Only today.
Impossible.
I actually saw a video and said that beer fucks around with your testosterone. There's shit that makes you estrogen shit in beer, makes you a fucking pussy.
Oh,
have
okay.
titties and shit. Yeah. A beer belly is like titties for your stomach.
So that's what's growing on you.
No, I'm in good shape. I must admit now.
I must. Oh, after I've twisted your arm.
No, I must admit I actually am quite good shape this week for sure. The yoga and stuff, but because we were doing a video call with our friends the last day who live overseas, and one of them had their behaviour changed a little bit, and it got me thinking I might do a bit of research on the old testosterone, so that's what I was doing today while you were on the phone.
Researching the old testosterone.
Yeah, I think I should get some testosterone.
I'm at a loss for words. As you're twirling your hair in a circle around your finger.
If I had more testosterone, I would be twirling my hair.
No. I'm going to go ahead and disagree. That's a no.
I never thought out, would it?
Possibly.
No, it wouldn't.
Possibly.
It's genetic.
No, but I don't know. Who knows? Are you proposing that in this time of world crisis, where you and I have reached some feeble point of stability, and I say that not because you and I aren't good, but the general state of the world, it's impossible to know if tomorrow will be a good day or not. Your next big move is to inject testosterone into your dick.
No, there's creams. There's actually testosterone creams and gels that you can rub to your... I honestly think you might rub them to your scrotum. I'm not even messing. I think that's where you rub them. You put it on your scrotum and maybe you shove a bit up your ass.
You won't even put stuff on your rotting feet to heal them from when you're standing out in... I just need to say this. Do you remember...
I don't put bloody cream on my feet like some queen.
Some queen. Well, okay. So your boots,
like some fruitcake.
your boots. I felt them. I picked them up, and just for the record, I then bought you new boots. I was like, "You're getting new boots." This is. I struggled to even understand.
I thought there was at least fucking 5 or 6 months left in them.
I couldn't believe the amount of suffering. Very Irish, I think this whole thing. I pick up these boots. They're close to just dripping. It was midnight. You had to go to work at 6 a.m. I guess, right? It's midnight. I pick up the boots. They will not be dry. They won't be dry in 2 days. That's how wet they are. And I was like, you're wearing these. Like, you're wearing these and you're not saying anything to me like that your feet are quite literally wet and then frozen all day, every day.
Yeah, but if I put them on and then I say something, it doesn't make them dry.
Yeah, I know, but it does get you new boots, which is what happened the moment I picked them up.
Oh, yeah.
And now are your feet...
I mean, very good.
If your feet are wet, it's just because, you come in them at lunch. And that's a personal choice.
Inappropriate.
Okay.
And you got me boots without laces, which I requested.
Yes.
Because you actually got boots with laces, and
right.
I didn't want to let you down, but I told you that I don't really do laces.
I know it's you. You're like, I didn't want to let you down. You looked at them. You looked so disappointed, and I was like, just tell me. And then you looked like it was gonna break your heart to let me know. But it was like, you buy yourself so little, so it's like you might as well buy yourself the thing you want.
I know, but laces have been always since I don't know when I learned how to tie my laces.
I don't think you did.
17 or 18, and they've always been. I've always. I mean, it's duality of meaning, but it's been a trip with like laces.
Christ.
I've never been able to get fucking them to stay tight.
Yeah, well.
And then when you have open laces as an adult,
it's embarrassing.
Over the age of 18, people actually treat you different.
Yeah.
Like instead of listening to your opinion
or
anything,
something...
it's more like they want to actually just give you like candy and rub your head, rub your belly, rub your penis. Put you back in the bus.
Sounds like a personal experience. But there's something very, dehumanizing, yes, about like if you're out in public and you're walking down the street and then your lace is untied and you have to stop in front of everyone and everything and bend over and retie that lace. Like, I understand. I should apologize to you for not even thinking about it. Because I didn't.
You can't put your fucking, you can't get the zip up in your pants in the street and then you're like going, Mom! But you're actually shouting at like just some like elderly lady that looks like your mother. Because you've been
what
drunk
did you call me?
You've been drunk for 2 days. And it's just anyone with long hair looks at your mom and you think you're 6 years old again. And you're like, clean me.
I swear to God you made this joke back in Australia.
So we're living in a loop anyway.
I know. And that's why I don't even want to do this podcast. I mean, not that I don't want to do it, but I'm just kind of like...
No, but this is a new season.
Is it a new season?
Yeah. So, like, that was the old season, episode 1 to 33, season 1.
Jeez.
Season 2 might be, episode 34 to 36 maybe, and then like by December we'll probably be like, season 3. It's but I think we're going to be doing it more sporadically. No, not sporadically. More non-sporadically. Do you get me?
Incredible vocab.
Yeah, and that's why I see. I mean, it's February, isn't it? No, it's January. So, I mean, it's only a few months left.
I feel like by the end of this, it's just going to decline into both of us sounding like bumbling old men.
No, I mean, have you heard some of the podcasts?
No.
That some of our friends do?
Absolutely not.
Oh, they're awful.
They're
awful, I have to...
I don't listen to podcasts. I don't actually know what I do anymore. We might as well admit our dirty little secret.
What?
You remember, I think, because somebody brought this up to me, someone who listens to the podcast, I don't remember who, but how,
somebody puts up with the audio quality.
Yeah, somebody, a saint, right? But how we, used in Australia, like The Bachelor Australia, like that was like the activity.
Yeah, that was the activity.
Yeah. And now that we're on, the never-ending lockdown, I did the numbers the other day to find out. We have been in a lockdown all but 3 months in the past year. So we have been in a lockdown for 9 months, which I actually don't think
2 months before Australia. Then 1 month in Australia will be open? No, not really.
It was like 3 weeks. But see, here's the thing. It was January, February, 2 weeks in March, and then like 2 weeks in Australia, right?
Oh,
or something.
Yeah.
And then there was, I guess there was...
We're in Australia less than a fucking week with a lockdown.
But then there was a month here. So I guess 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah, there was a month here.
In the last year have not been locked down, which whatever. I don't think
we're following lockdowns around the world.
Yeah, it's...
as soon as this place opens up, we're going to find out where's locking down next. We're going to get in there.
That's actually how we book our trips.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, so now for this lockdown, whatever number it is, the thing getting me through it, and I think you can share in this, is a little TV show called... What is it called? I forget what it's called.
Married at First Sight Australia.
Married at First Sight Australia. Yeah, so it's like... It's strange to be in this sort of place again where at 7:30, because that was the time The Bachelor started over there, at 7:30... We've got dinner done and dusted. I've never been this person, and I can't believe that I am. Dinner's done and dusted, and we have hunkered down, and now we're going to watch some Australian reality TV.
Australia makes great reality TV.
I'm really into it. I'm not going to lie.
Reality TV because they brought the mixture of arrogance and too much money, which creates the perfect cocktail for a toxic asshole personality.
Perfect soundtrack, really.
And it's great because they everything looks good, you know. I enjoy it.
They look good, but what I like, it's even more... I always love the music of reality shows because they like to heighten things and make things playful and whatever, and they do that with
the soundtrack to Inception to some fucking retard fucking spinning a glass of wine gossiping.
I do love it.
That's right.
And we don't even have to know what it's called. We're just like, the show is coming on later. And we know... Because I mean, what else? What is there on the internet that we haven't seen?
I watch a lot of boxing videos these days.
We watched that movie Manos.
Oh, that was last night, wasn't it? About the kids living in the Colombian rebels. I mean, that kind of looked like a good life, didn't it?
Comparatively, at this point,
you
get a machine gun.
There's something about having no shirt. And a rapid powered weapon.
And they're no bathing, which we know you can get into.
Everyone looked lean.
They did look lean. I was jealous of the lean children.
People in poorer countries have
are thinner.
Well, they have good bodies. Very lean.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Maybe there's a reason for that.
We need to get a famine going to get good abs.
I mean, hard to say. One could be coming up here in the UK. Things
aren't good here at all.
No, things are very bad. Brexit, very bad. Very bad thing. Really, just on a baseline level of like white privilege inconvenience, can't buy anything from Europe anymore. It's just as bad as buying from America now.
Oh yeah, it's going down.
Yeah, but, horrendous what the people voted.
Well, we live in Notting Hill, so.
Yes, but we somebody had to suffer for us to get this apartment.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
The market crashed for all the rich people.
It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart.
I think you should just sing this for the rest of the show, and then we can just end it.
Like flying birds, you can light up the dark.
I was kidding.
And then fucking
they break into the park.
They break into the park, and he blows her ass all out. Aaron Brockovich. I was never a big fan of Julia Roberts, to be honest.
Yeah, people feel one way or the other about her.
You're not a fan?
Look, here's the thing. I don't think you can say you are not a fan because right when we moved into this apartment...
I've watched about 11 or 12 of her movies this year. Actually.
Yes, we watched all of those movies.
Well, yeah, no, you know what? I take it back. I'm actually a huge fan.
It was Julia Roberts night on the TV. They don't do those nights anymore. Remember how they had Patrick Swayze night?
And was great.
Yeah, Julia Roberts night. But it was Julia Roberts night, and we watched all of them. Runaway Bride, My Best Friend's Wedding, fucking Notting Hill.
And it looks like one big fucking movie.
It really does.
Yeah.
Her mouth just swallows all those roles whole and spits them all out.
Yeah, she's not Hugh Grant, though.
Right, yeah.
He's one for the boys, right? He can act great.
Yeah. He, got caught picking up a prostitute. You got to respect
I love that about him.
That hustle.
It's my favorite story.
I wonder if he was a regular.
Regular prostitute picking up?
Well, of that specific prostitute.
No, I've looked into this. That was the first time. She didn't even know who he was. She didn't even know he was a Hollywood actor.
Hilarious.
She was a real street honky. Not honky, the opposite of honky. She was like, damn, I didn't even know he was famous. You should watch the interview. She's really funny. She probably does stand-up now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a whore for 2 minutes, then you're a stand-up comic.
True. Fair enough.
It's a good way to go. Yeah, I just gotta, create more online content.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Yeah, running out of ways to make money. I'm bringing back the foot account, which I think you know.
Yeah, yes.
We were actually supposed to have a photo shoot today. I just remembered.
Oh, darn. Well, I'm coming up with ideas. Remember I told you maybe splashing around in a bucket David Lynch music?
Yeah, you did say... I think that's actually an excellent idea. I'm not going to lie. When you said that to me, I was like, this is the man I married, know? But you did mention fake blood, which I'm here, but
definitely.
See, I don't want to spend the money to make the money. We're pinching pennies right now.
I know, but fucking, I don't know. I could drink, we use red wine and I could drink it after.
Okay, yeah, I do like recycling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a thirst for that out there, with the Patrick Batemans of this world.
Well, yeah, so I'm waiting for my Onlyfans for my feet approval. So really excited. It's just going to be, my feet. And they're good-looking feet. Would you corroborate?
I'm not really into feet, no.
No, you got to sell my feet. You got to help me sell the feet.
I think anyone who's actually into feet is a fucking creep and you should be fucking arrested and taken off the streets. That's worse than being into children.
I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and disagree.
Even children make more sense than feet.
Oh, okay. Let me hear it. How do you figure?
I don't know. Didn't bloody Mohammed marry a 9-year-old or something?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sandals?
I don't listen to podcasts.
What about videos with sandals?
It's funny.
That's like feet in fucking S&M wear.
Yes. It's all about, look, I've done the foot thing before. I used to manage that dungeon. So I actually got into it, obviously, because of one of the girls at the dungeon. She saw my feet one day and she's like, do you do foot stuff? And I was like, no. And she's like, you should do the foot stuff. And then I was like, yeah. So then she made me an Instagram for my feet and started taking photos of my feet at work. And she kind of ran it for me for a minute. And then I saw how, it did work. It really did work. Like, I had people make fan art with the photos of my feet. Like, they'd put little things that I was crushing into them. I had somebody write me, like, this fucking story I never asked for, but about how, like, he lived in my shoe during the day. And is
that fan fiction?
Yeah, it is. But, for him, maybe not fiction. It's a giantess fetish, right? Where, like, I'm giant and then he's a tiny, like a mini person, and they live in your shoes, or they
wow,
they worship your feet, if you let them sleep by your giant feet. Like, but this guy, like, he lived in my shoe all day long, and all day long I walked on him and he could feel his bones crush and his head nearly pop like a grape. God. Yeah, no, he wrote this all to me.
What's he a good writer?
It was very imaginative. At this point, I haven't written a new joke in a long time, so I'm kind of like, you got that out of somewhere, so I can appreciate it. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just, you'd be surprised to find out how many people are into feet, really. It's really...
People are into all sorts of things, though.
Well, yeah, no shit.
But you picked up my phone a few times and you probably see some things that shocked you.
Shocked? No. It's difficult to shock me. Things that I wanted to talk about? Yes. Yeah, why not?
A bit of jungle fever, like.
Yeah, I'm... if you're Dear Diary, here we go. Do you want to tell everybody?
No.
Well, you already have.
No, we're on the internet too much. We have to get back into reading books, don't we?
You're reading a book. I wanted to... Didn't you ever hear about the... Did I not ever tell you about the foot fetish interview I went on?
No.
Really?
You didn't?
No. Well, I used to have a bit about it. It was not a finished bit. I did take it to Edinburgh. I should watch it and try to bring it back. It's so dumb. It's one of it's right up your alley, this joke. It's not a joke though, but like basically it was on my birthday in 2018. I went on my second interview at the dungeon, right, and got hired. I think it was 2018, maybe it's 2017. I don't know. But later that afternoon, so it's my birthday, right? This is my birthday.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. I wake up. I have a little brekkie, as they call it in one of these countries I've been in.
Breakfast,
Yeah. I think they call it I think that's what they call it in Australia, right? Brekkie.
They call it, yeah. They have all sorts of fucking.
I'm gonna have a little pash with my brekkie.
Here
pash,
they have the slang.
Right?
Yeah. Australia has the worst slang for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, unless it's that guy on.
There's a couple of roos loose in the top paddock.
Yeah, some shit like that. When he does the whole thing, when it's all slang, then I can get behind it. But just the one or two words, fuck that. But I woke up on my birthday. I had some breakfast. Then I went on my second interview at the dungeon where I was hired. They were like, okay, you'll start this day. So I was like sick. But then a couple hours after that, I had to go on this foot fetish interview. So I stopped by at the Grizzly Pear. I was still drinking at the time. And I was like, I'm about to go do something pretty crazy. So I'm just telling you, because if you don't hear from me again, something bad happened, you know?
Got Law and Order SUV'd.
Yeah, I got Law and Order SVU'd.
SVU'd. I always get that wrong.
Because there's the SUV. Yeah, and you're dyslexic. But, so I have a couple shots, and then, because it's right near the Pear, so this is in the West Village in New York. So I'm walking, to this location I was given, and I buzz, and as I'm going up the stairs, I know in my bones the woman that I passed had just come out of the situation I was about to enter, because she had this look to her,
like her soul was empty.
Yeah, or something had just happened to her.
She's
soul.
Breaking her parents' hearts.
Precisely. And I had done that years before, so I was like, I know it when I see it, right? So I knock on this door, and this guy opens the door, and his name was Jason, and he had he had those, actually they were like the haram pants, but sweatpants. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he sits me down, and I'm on his couch, and so is he. And then, I think we just get right to it. If I remember correctly, he's like, can you take off your socks and your shoes? So I take off my socks and my shoes, and he takes my feet in his hands.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I'm on an interview, but I mean, am I? But he's looking at my feet, he's petting my feet, and he's sort of just and then he starts rubbing them on his face. Oh. Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, it's my fucking birthday. Because I'm I can hear children, outside the window. This is Manhattan.
They did another studio. What kind of place were you in?
That was good. Yeah.
It was the building called the Dark Web.
It's
the Dark Web Studios.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. I might use that in the joke. That's funny because he told me to have a seat on this couch. And in my joke, I was like, I think I recognize you from the internet. Yeah, the casting couch. Yeah, but I don't remember exactly how the bit goes because stand-up comedy's dead. But he's rubbing my feet on his face. I'm laying there thinking, this is fucking insane. What am I doing here? It's supposed to be my birthday, and this guy has a boner, And then he tells me to take my feet. So it's we're on the couch, but he's near the edge of the couch and close to the wall. And he tells me to take my feet and step on his face.
Oh my God.
Right? And then I start doing it, and he's do it harder, and I'm so I'm stepping on his face, and then he tells me to, he's that's good, but do it harder and take your toes and grab my nose and just sort of wriggle it around, and so I'm fuck, the only way I feel I don't know. Why do we say yes to things? I was the only way out of this is to just get it over with, and do it. Maybe there's childhood trauma there. I don't know. But so I do it. I'm just stepping on his face. I take my toes, I grab his nose, and I'm just wriggling around, and I can feel him breathing in my feet,
oh,
and kind of, it's moist, and I can feel sort of snot coming out of his nose.
Was he a straight white man?
Of course. Well, straight, I mean, he likes feet. I don't know. Did he? No, he had the fucking the fancy sweatpants on.
Patriarchy.
Yeah, and so then, I can tell something's happened, and he's oh, we'll call you, and I'm And the end of the joke, I mean, this isn't a joke, but when I tell it as the joke, I'm he says we'll call you, and and I got paid nothing. So what I mean to say is #MeToo.
Me too.
Yeah, see, I knew you'd like that. You love
yes,
stupid shit, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so something like that. But I'd like do this whole build up. Like when I was on stage, what I would do, I actually, this is very funny. In one show, I was doing this show. I was not meant to go first. The room was packed. And I do tend to do these shows where whatever was whenever I do a hot show, like the show that you really want to be booked on, you've waited a while to get booked, the booker's finally giving you a chance to do the show, I always do the one that's fucking fucked up from the beginning. You know, when normally it's like smooth sailing and it's always like a good crowd and they're always hot to be there and everybody's going to do well. I always do the one where the host, who's usually the booker or whatever, is up there bombing their dick off from the jump. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's like weird crowd. And I was doing that show, and that's what was happening. The show that's normally a hot show, my first time on it, the host just wasn't getting him. Like he got off, and he was like, you know, well, before he got off, basically, I had not been meant to go first, but no other comic had arrived. No. Yeah, and I'm not a good first, you know? I'm not the one you want.
Me neither.
I'm really not the one you want first. I can go first. I can adjust for first. But, you know, at the time I was a little nervous as well because I was thinking, oh, come on. Like, if I have any chance of getting booked on this show again.
Was it an urban room?
It was not. See, but...
was it in a spicy room?
I don't know what that means, but no.
Like a lot of curry, you know?
It was at Broadway Comedy Club in the downstairs room, and it was a monthly show.
It was a comedy club room.
Yeah, but it was a produced show, and it was a monthly show, and it was always a hot show.
A lot of suits.
No, why?
I don't know. I'd like to get an image. Just a bloody...
It had a little bit of everything.
Perfect.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. The room was full. Nobody was into it. The host, you know, it had weird energy, and then he was like, you're going to go first, because nobody else is here. Even though the lineup had been like, you know... At least, I think I had been originally third, which is the spot you sort of want. Whatever. So I was like, fine. And he gets up there, and he, you know, for whatever reason, they just didn't like it. And I was like, well, they're going to continue not liking it, you know. And I get up there, and sure enough, they're not into it. And I tend to... You know, sometimes I just hit nuclear. I'm like, well, if you're not going to like it, then I'm going to do something that you're really not going to like that's just for me.
You're an edgelord.
Is that what that is?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Even though I did win that award. Do you remember that?
There's an edgelord award.
I don't even, let's not even get into it. But yeah, the whole bit, it's like I begin the bit by like sitting down on the stool, which like you only do if you're a really good comic. So, you know, nobody should ever do it.
I used to do it.
I know, I told you my opinion of that.
I don't know, the people in the video I made seem to be laughing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not Patrice O'Neill, so I don't think you should sit. But anyway, neither here nor there. I have to sit for the bit because...
I didn't do it again after you said that, you know?
Oh, really? Well, I have a... I mean, look, if I'm wrong... Strike me down. Oh, Lord, do me a favor and just kill me now.
One thing, comedy's embarrassing. I don't know, you don't find it embarrassing. I find it embarrassing. I don't like telling people I do comedy. I think it's like it's an embarrassing hobby.
I don't like telling people I do anything.
Yeah. It's an embarrassing hobby. And then to have a kind of style where you sit down, unless you're very funny, you look like a fucking dickhead.
Yes, I said that to you.
Being up there in general.
Oh, you're literally repeating what I said. 9
out of 10 times you look like a dickhead if you're like on an amateur scene. It's very hard not to look like a complete and utter
asshole.
wet brain. Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't even know how to use a mic stand. Probably my first 7 months in comedy. I was scared to touch it.
No, yeah, no, I used to have trouble with it last time I checked.
Yeah, fair enough. But I have to sit for the bit because I take off a shoe.
Ah, yes.
And
yes.
I whip my feet out.
An act out.
Yeah, but a foot out.
Physical comedy.
Physical comedy, yes.
Hilarious.
I am all three of the Stooges. But yeah, and so I take my feet out, or at least one of my feet. I take one of them out, and I like do the whole thing. you know, and I grab the toes and whatever, and like I'm stepping. And so in that show, I'll put it this way, I was 100% never booked on that show again after doing that. In fact, that booker has never spoken to me again, as though I ruined the show, which was already not going well. But from that show, I got another comic who walked in during the performance. I think he was with a girl he was like seeing at the time. And then he became obsessed with my feet. So 2 birds, 1 stone, that show, 1 weird, twisted, fucked up stone. Lost an opportunity and gained a foot fan.
That's not the direction you want to go to.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I mean,
that's more bloody. That's more bloody towards sex work than it is
absolutely
an artist.
Yep.
But that's where we are.
That's where we are right now. Yeah. I mean,
I was thinking of starting a fucking Onlyfans where I just shove a camera up my asshole.
How big is the camera?
How big is the asshole?
It's your asshole, so only you can answer that.
Yeah, that's what my Onlyfans are going to be, right inside my bum.
Well, as far as I know, for that website, that's where they want to be. So you're giving everybody what they want. You know, if shoving a camera up your asshole helps pay our rent, I'm all for it.
I have a feeling it's not going to help with the rent.
Me too. Yeah. With that said, I've seen a butthole or two of people that I've worked with, and no judgment, but it's weird. You know, it's weird that I didn't go seeking out the butthole. The butthole was sent to me. And,
don't shame any other women.
I'm not shaming them. It's just weird that I've seen their butthole. That's the comment I'm making. There's people in this world, you generally are walking around and you're like, I'd say, 10 times out of 10, not going to see their butthole. So when suddenly you have, it's just a new feeling. That's all. I mean, have you even seen my butthole? See, you don't even know. And I know for a fact I have seen the butthole of someone.
I was going to do a famous quote from a movie that, I don't know if it might be offensive or does it even make sense.
Well, when you
said, have you seen my butthole, I should have just said, we need a bigger boat.
I like it. I like it.
I was thinking about that the other day as well. Like just movie quotes from the most famous movies at the funniest times. I was thinking in a nightclub, you see like a load of kind of fat chicks, and you'd be like, the Jurassic Park music plays in your head, do 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 do, and they're like, they do move in herds.
Okay, yeah, it's good. It's good to feel creative again, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm writing a joke every day on Facebook.
Yes, I've seen some of those.
Should we call out our sponsors?
Call out our sponsors. Can I just, not to circle back to the butthole thing, but do you not find it sort of interesting that I've seen the butthole of somebody not in this room that I did not date or sleep with?
Did you
that
pay
wasn't
money?
porn. No. That's the fucked up thing about these OnlyFans things, right?
That sounds like the most hilarious person who's doing it for free. I like people like that.
No, they're not doing it for free. This is what happens. And this is why, I'm not so worried about my feet because, come find me, I dare you, and then please pay to see my feet. I would in fact love that. Actually, one time you brought up the sandals thing. I do. Somewhere in this world are gladiator sandals that maybe.
Like those.
Yeah, well, they're
not in a weird way.
Yeah, well, I had 2 pair. One were ankle and one were up to the knee. I bought both while high on Ambien on eBay at 3 a.m. Mm-hmm. Whoops. That was expensive $400, but whatever. I was wearing the tall ones in Flatbush, Brooklyn, one summer, and this guy said to me, "Hey, sexy toes," And now I'm realizing they're just foot people are everywhere, so there's no judgment. I would love to sell you photos, videos of my feet. I'll take custom stuff. We're gonna film it. We're gonna make some art. Very excited, but. That's what people do, though. They put up their stuff on the OnlyFans, and then people use the screen recording, and they record what is meant to be only for fans. And that's how I ended up seeing the butthole of someone that I know. I didn't seek it out.
That's a Me Too.
Of course it is. Yeah, I mean, it's just really unfortunate.
Because it's like some sort of online rape.
The internet is horrendous. I don't know where it starts and ends. Probably with TikTok somehow, but... yeah, you know, whatever. If you know, my feet, they're out there. And yeah, I guess if we want to, we might as well shout out the sponsors. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. So the people who are sponsors, we hold very close to our heart, and you two, they're your feet. Not Tom Ford. I always think.
You really just jumped right into the one that's not supposed to be said. Okay.
Dominic, you have been shouted out as one of my reference.
You always have to give a reason, right? we can't just like pretend.
Kevin, he shouted out a friend of mine. Nyler, or maybe I'll try the testosterone. Who knows? Shouted out.
That's
Sinead,
by the way. No testosterone for you.
Shouted out, Sinead.
Wow, really?
I'm having a special needs breakdown. Sorry, could you tell me?
I stopped. I have to be honest. The TV's on, but it's on mute, and there was a commercial for Married at First Sight Australia.
I was watching it too. That's why I forgot. That's why I forgot who.
And even though we've seen everything that they showed in that, I was drawn in. You know.
Yeah, no, I just saw that chick with the weird shaped head again. Her head's like an upside down flower pot. There was a girl in my school we used to call her flower pot head because her head was like an upside down flower pot. You know what? She should be on Onlyfans. She turned into quite the whore.
Okay. All right. So there was Damo, Kev, Sinead, Niall, and Adam.
And Adam.
Adam. You didn't do that. I did, but that's fine.
Adam. All right, that's good. So we're gonna be back almost every week.
Don't make any promises. I mean, really, we do this one more week. It's the same thing again, except now I will have seen somebody's butthole twice. I will have seen 2 buttholes.
No, I'm gonna
double the butthole.
I'm gonna have a good story for next week.
That sounds threatening, but I'm low key into it. So
okay, let's wrap it up. Good night, everyone. Wear your mask.